Here's how to heavy after the 3.0 patch. First, know your role. If it's an enemy and it's moving down range, you took that personally. Fix it. To prove that point, and since I already made a joke about things being heavy and carrying teammates on the Vanguard video, here's some footage of Terminus enemies in Ruthless pondering the inevitability of their demise. So, perks. And I'm gonna make some people mad with this one, I bet. Here we go. Restoration. Killing 10 enemies in rapid succession restores 1 armor segment. Cooldown of 15 seconds. You're gonna be killing a lot of enemies. May as well get free armor. Fortitude. Health increases by 20%. Flat 20% health boost? Yes, please. Arguably, you could take thermal boost for the extra damage when a weapon's over 50% heated, but I prefer the extra wiggle room that the 20% extra health gives. Plus, you're alive, that means you're spitting lead down range longer. More things are dying, and your teammates aren't getting stabbed in the face. Overwhelming power. When Iron Halo is active, all squad members within 10 meters deal 10% more range damage. All of the perks on this column are decent in their own way. This perk will make a lot more sense as we talk about the rest of the build. Overcharge to increase your charged attacks by 20%, not bad. Or, if you prefer to swap back and forth between your primary and your pistol, like if you're going to use the Plasma Incinerator, versatility is also quite good. Dealer's choice. For the team perk, well, you got 2 useful ones out of 3. That ain't bad. We're going with the additional supplies, which gives everyone in the squad a flat boost to your ammo capacity by 25%. Prior to the 3.0 patch, I would argue that encompassing Aegis, which makes everybody take 20% less range damage, was more important. Since they've all been nerfed to no longer have superhuman aim, I think you can actually make use of the extra ammo. Next, Adamant Will. After Iron Halo deactivates, you take 20% less health damage for 5 seconds. Field Adjustment. Iron Halo recharges 20% faster, but its durability is reduced by 30%. Brute Force. When Iron Halo is on cooldown, range damage increases by 15%. And our signature perk, which I'm really not sure what's up with these other two, but Conversion Field. When Iron Halo is active, all squad members within 100 meters, so basically anywhere on the map, regenerate ability charge 50% faster. So, I think you might see what I'm aiming for here. You're going to be dipping in and out of Iron Halo rather quickly, recharging your entire squad's abilities whilst it's active, and boosting everybody's damage while it's active, taking less damage after you turn it off, and it's going to recharge 20% faster. And since you're going to be turning it off manually instead of letting it deactivate completely, well, you're going to be dipping in and out and just constantly having some semblance of a buff. Honorable mentions include Obliterate Bastion, which increases Iron Halo's durability by 20%. At that point, just go ahead and rework the other perks such that you're leaning into making Iron Halo as tanky as possible if you just want to leave it on and not think about it. Emperor's Protection and Consecutive Execution are also decent, but don't fit the way I want to play it. Kill stuff, get grenades, or fully expend Iron Halo, everybody gets armor. Strategic Stand, I've heard that some people really like it. I guess if you want to play a turret and pretend you're in a tower defense game. I don't like it because I dip in and out of heavy stance pretty frequently as I'm moving around and seeking to position most effectively. Obviously, if you're going to go with the melt-a-gun, go with multi-kill, free ammo, and killing 5 things. Yeah, it's going to happen. Next, weapons. In a weird turn of events, all 3 are viable, so it comes down to what you prefer. As for me, I'm an orc player. I always want more DACA, so we're going to go with the heavy bolter. Forewarning, this was painful to level until it gets to purple tier. Just commit. I'm a fan of the version that gives you extra accuracy. Some of these other ones do more damage or vent faster or give you more ammo. I would argue none of that matters unless you can actually hit your target. Perks. This one's kind of weird in that we only pick up the 1 point in relic tier. But you're going to start off on the bottom tree. Decrease your weapon heating by 10%. Sacrificial point so that you can get to this other stuff. Headshots deal more damage. Extra 20% ammo. And the perk that makes the bolter actually effective against swarms. Perpetual Penetration. Each shot penetrates 1 additional target, so you can spray into that swarm of gaunts and actually be efficient with your ammo. Moving on. Adamant Restoration. When your health drops below 30%, your ammo reserve is restored by 25% of your max capacity, cooldown of 30 seconds. Seeing as how we're taking all those other ammo perks, this works rather well to stack those percentages. Extra damage in heavy stance. More extra damage in heavy stance. Less maximum spread while in heavy stance. Even less maximum spread while in heavy stance. At this point, the heavy bolter is a stagger-inducing laser that you can fire across the map to almost immediately interrupt reinforcement calls. It's nice. And the last one, Discipline. When you have low ammo, you deal 25% more damage. Because when you're on the last dregs of ammo, you're probably not having a great time. Probably want to make those rounds count, yeah? Moving on. We have the Melt-a-Gun. you might notice I haven't even finished leveling it. It's the Melt-A-Gun. It's good. You know it. I know it. I don't really think we need another video saying, yes, the Melt-A-Gun is good. Pick which one you like, whether it's the one with range or the one with extra ammo. Go up the top line, pick up the extra range here. You're gonna do just fine. It's just boring as piss. Next, we have the Heavy Plasma Incinerator. I really wanted to like this gun. I really did. And there are moments where you feel like an absolute badass when you get that arc just right and you can delete entire groups of enemies and send things flying, and it's glorious. And other times it is so profoundly frustrating. Here, let me encapsulate it like this. I have never said in all the hours I've played, man, I really wish I had a Heavy Plasma Incinerator right now. I have said that about both the Heavy Bolter and the Multi-Melta. Take from that what you will. In the interest of completeness, I like the version that comes with the highest rate of fire. Yes, this gives you fewer charge shots per charge. It's fine. The reason I like it is rate of fire directly impacts how quickly the charge shots charge, which is nice when you have things trying to come peel your face off. Oh, perks. We got this windy top-bottom-top thing going on. Common shots generate 10% less heat. After killing 10 enemies, weapons do not heat for 5 seconds. While in heavy stance, shots charge 10% faster, 20% more ammo. Charge shots use 2 less energy. This one is clutch. I would argue that this single perk actually makes the Heavy Plasma Incinerators somewhat useful. Adamant Restoration, covered that earlier. Heavy fire. While in heavy stance, fire rate increases by 15%. Damage from charge shots by 10%. More damage from charge shots. After a perfectly timed dodge, you deal 25% more damage for 5 seconds. Not exactly world-altering, but okay, I'm not going to be mad about it. Secondaries. You have the option of the bolt pistol or the plasma pistol. Realistically, go with the plasma pistol. Having the near instant cross-map interrupts if you're not going to use the heavy bolter is really nice. Again, going with the rate of fire variant to get the charges to go as fast as possible. Perks. Bottom to top here. Weapons cool 15% faster. After killing 10 enemies in rapid succession, you deal 25% more damage for 5 seconds. Likely never happen. Cool when it does. Supercharged shot, 10% more damage on charge shots. Extra radius on charge shots. Even more radius. 20% faster charge. And 20% faster charge on top of that. I don't particularly care about picking up the perfectly timed dodge talent, so instead, we're just going to go pick up the extra 20% ammo. And there you have it. 3 perfectly viable builds, even though my perk selection here is arguably a bit contentious, but I like how this consistently offers you and or your team a range damage boost, regardless of whether or not your Iron Halo is on or off cooldown. And since you're going to be using it pretty frequently, you're going to be contributing to more ability charge across the entire team more often. So there we have it. If you have questions about my thought process, or you disagree with the perk selections, or my assessment of the weapons, feel free to leave a comment down below. Assault's up next. That one's, yeah. I've been Bald Squid. I'll see you next time.